Hi, just working on my little Monica art journal. I found this black and white picture in my collage drawer and wanted to use it. And I decided to use the technique that I learned from Estelle on one of her YouTube videos where I extend the picture. So I tore it up a bit to make it a little bit rougher. I'm just going to smack it down with some glue. And since she is laying on the grass, I'm just going to extend the grass and the sky, and that's that. First, I want to bring a little color to her shirt, so I'm using my Faber-Castell markers. I go to these because sometimes I can smear them, and it makes it look a little bit watercolory. This paper is not very glossy, which typically is the best for that, but it's glossy enough that I can still rub it around. So that's what I'm doing. These are my favorite Target paints. I wanted not such a strong green and blue for the sky, so I'm using a baby wipe to put it on a little bit more transparent, hopefully, but yet I didn't want it to be as light as watercolor. So I'm going to see how it goes, and if I overdid it, I just wiped it off with something else. I told you before about Wish, the app Wish.com, Wish whatever, really cheap stencils. And I found out about AliExpress, and they have really cheap stencils too, unfortunately. So I wanted to use some of my new ones, which I'm doing here. Oh, they're so nice, and they're so cheap. So cheap. Unfortunately, too cheap. I'm using just a sponge to apply some paint. I've been saving my cosmetic wedges and washing them, so that's why you see the purple on there. Excuse me. So what I want to do is just add some different greens, some different texture to that grass there, to change, just add a little bit more dimension and more fun. So that's that, and then I really like the numbers that are on there, so I'm going to go in with the same color that I applied with the baby wipe. I put too much on my sponge, so I'm just going to use it on the scrap paper because I want it to be there but not overpowering. So let's see how this works. Oh, those numbers are so cool. So cool. And did I say how cheap it was from AliExpress? Oh, I just went on their website to figure out the name of it, and I saw more stencils that I didn't see before for like 21 cents was one of them. Oh, it's going to be tough. So there we go. Got some more grass on there. I'm going to add some blue for the sky. I'm taking a risk by squirting it down there, and it didn't work anyway because it's so thick. So I'm going to smear some on there and then wash it over with the baby wipe, which isn't a really, really wet baby wipe. And it was a little bit too light, so I'm just going to add some more there. There we go. Now I did want to add clouds to the sky because I'm a lover of clouds, but I didn't want to use my cloud stencils, and I really wanted to try out my new stencils that I got. So I'm going to go to these polka dots. Typically I do not clean my stencils, but since this was fresh green on there, I wanted to make sure I didn't get green in my sky. Now before I add the white on there, I just want to add some more to that blue. Using the same color to stencil with on the color as the color that you just painted with can do so much because it goes on a little bit stronger and it just makes it look really great. And you might be thinking, it's kind of weird right now. Just wait. This is the magic of layering. So I want to add a little bit more to the sky. Some more dots. I thought we'll just carry the whole dot theme through. Sometimes I go a little bit over my page, so the dots go, or my stencil carries a little bit over so it's not perfectly lined up, because I do not roll that way. I want to kind of get it where the other stencil wasn't, and this white is a bit too strong. No worries, I'm going to layer it over again. I thought this paint blob might work as clouds, more of an abstract sort of cloud, and it's not going to be super strong. Oh, you know what I did? I think I mixed my white and my blue. I just used the white sponge that I just used, and I did that. But I do want to get some more of this color, but not such big chunks, because then I'm just doing a big chunk over the bold white. It's got to be like more subtle. So this smaller paint splatter worked much nicer. But then it was kind of too small, so I went for like a medium size. This is why you need a billion stencils, because you never know what size paint splatter you're going to need on your art journal page. So you really need every stencil out there. Oh, I so love them. So there, I like that a lot. Now what I want to do is, I don't want that hard line between the sky and the grass, so I want to put a few blades of grass shooting up above her, so she really is in the grass. So I'm just taking that number stencil and carrying it above, which is fun that the numbers are actually the blades of grass too. Sweet. So there we go, and the sky is shining through it. I thought about coloring her hair, but then I decided I would just keep it that way. Sometimes if I use the brown marker Faber-Castell, it's a little bit too much, and I have brown hair, so. And here's my pile of envelopes that I cut up. Business envelopes, when you get the envelope to mail your bill back, have great patterns inside. So I just want to add one of my little clouds up there, because it just needed a little bit more. And then what I do is when I have old books, well, I have old books for this reason, just to cut them up, find phrases that I like. I'm going to take this kind of fast, because I just kind of let them trickle down and scatter about and find the word that I want. And then sometimes I just got to dig. I cut out phrases that just catch my eye or speak to my heart, and I just dump them in a box with no plan for them until this comes about, and then I do it. Typically, I just keep my words as is, but this one had a few words on the bottom that were showing through, and I just want it to be clear. I love it how when I cut out words, maybe months ago, a year ago, totally forget about them, and then you find an image, and you're like, I wonder what this is going to be, and then it all comes together in a sweet little page. So there we go. Thank you for watching.